Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is fired up because she doesn't like it when people say she wants to give away free stuff. The Democrats are so crazy about impeachment that some are actually starting to crack, and President Trump rallies the crowd from his new home state. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
And God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday. We've got a lot to cover, but first, I want to tell you about my friends from Bottle Breacher because just in time for Thanksgiving, they're having a Black Friday sale. It's 25% off the entire site. You need to check them out. They've got the best in promotional gifts, groomsmen items. It's a veteran-owned company, made in America products. Just go to bottlebreacher.com, use coupon code Bobby13-Black Friday, and this is good from today all the way through Monday, Cyber Monday, for 25% off site-wide. That's bottlebreacher.com. Use coupon code Bobby13-Black Friday. All right, we're going to get to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but I want to talk about impeachment. I want to give you an update because the longer it goes on, the worse it gets for Democrats. And we saw that this week, and it continues. You know, we've talked about on previous shows how polling has come out, and it shows that independents are turning away from impeachment. Republicans are solid. They are solid behind President Trump. Democrats are starting to waver, and independents are being lost. Here's a report from the Washington Times. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi vowed not to pursue impeachment without GOP support. She went ahead nonetheless, and now Democrats find themselves not only without Republicans, but increasingly without independent voters backing either. The latest polling shows 2 weeks of open impeachment hearings, and Democrats' claims of bombshell revelations have not only failed to build support for impeachment, but have actually soured independents on the effort. That's right. I mean, independents, those crucial to swing elections, both nationwide and within districts, are not on board with impeachment. We saw poll after poll on the last couple shows, and here's more from the Washington Times. It says, the latest survey with good news for Mr. Trump came Tuesday in a Quinnipiac poll, which found that tables have turned. Where a month ago, support for impeaching and removing Mr. Trump stood at 48% in favor and 46% opposed. Now it's 45% in favor, 48% opposed. Quinnipiac found that support among political independents had dropped 4 percentage points during that time. Other surveys show even bigger drops of support among independent voters. And this is what has the Democrats scrambling. Again, the GOP, no one has broken into that support. The caucus, the House caucus of GOP members has stood strong with the president because they had every right to. There's nothing that has come out from these hearings. Democrats are wavering. Independents are being lost. And when you look at the Democrats, there's some weird stuff that has come out. And in particular, I want to talk about Democrat Brenda Lawrence. She's up in Michigan. She's in a safe district, but she came out on Sunday saying that she doesn't favor impeachment. Here's a report from the Washington Times. On Sunday, Lawrence said she no longer saw any value in the process and called on Democrats to back a symbolic censure resolution instead. We are so close to an election, Lawrence said Sunday on a Michigan radio program, noting that Trump stands little chance of being convicted by the GOP-controlled Senate. I will tell you, sitting here knowing how divided the country is, I don't see the value of taking him out of office, but I do see the value of putting down a marker saying his behavior is not acceptable. So that was on Sunday. And again, this marker she was talking about was a censure resolution to kind of show the will of the House. You know, she doesn't want to put forth impeachment, go all the way there. So instead, we'll put a bogus censure resolution, say we don't like what the president has done, and move on. But that was Sunday. But look what happened on Tuesday. But on Tuesday, Lawrence issued a new statement saying she continues to support impeachment. I was an early supporter for impeachment in 2017, Lawrence said in a statement. The House Intelligence Committee followed a very thorough process in holding hearings these past 2 weeks. The information they revealed confirmed that this president has abused the power of his office. Therefore, I continue to support impeachment. So what a mess. I love the part where she says that she was an early supporter in 2017. So basically, as soon as the president took office, She was one of those on board, like Rashida Tlaib and others, calling for impeachment before they even had any investigation on non-evidence. It just makes no sense, but that's how the Democrats, they're in a frenzy and they don't know what to do. And now I want to move on to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez because she's upset. She's all upset at the way she's being labeled, and she's upset because people like me and others, they see through this socialist agenda, this massive taxpayer buy-in for free stuff. She wants to give away free everything. She's being called on it, and now that upsets her. She doesn't like being labeled as the giver of free stuff. And here's a report from the Washington Examiner. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez unloaded on those who qualify her policy propositions as free stuff. Ocasio-Cortez, the 30-year-old socialist New York representative elected to Congress last year, expressed her frustration with critics who write off her policies, such as tuition-free college, Medicare for all, and expanding public housing as handouts or free stuff to rope in voters. It's not that we deserve it because it's a handout. People like to say, oh, this is about free stuff. This is not about free stuff, Ocasio-Cortez said at a Bronx town hall over the weekend. So if it's not about giving away free stuff that the taxpayers are footing the bill, someone ultimately pays, but if it's not massive giveaways, according to Ocasio-Cortez, then what is it? Here's more. The freshman Democrat claimed those in her party who believe in free market-oriented policies try to paint her policies in a negative light. These are public goods. They're public goods. So I never want to hear the word or the term free stuff ever again, she explained. So there she was actually blasting people in her own party. But again, it goes across the board. And if it's not free stuff, I ask, what is it? Because this is exactly the agenda. And if you remember at her Green New Deal, Medicare for all, free college tuition for all, and the ultimate, paying people who are unwilling to work. We're going to pay them too. If that's not free stuff, I don't know what is. To kick back in your hammock all day long and just get paid for doing nothing? That's pretty awesome. And that's free stuff. And that's what she's advocating. Of course, we're the ones who have to pay as she tries to restructure the entire economy with a socialist agenda. So we see through AOC, she's trying to give away free stuff, and we're going to keep on saying it. So next I want to talk about President Trump, because he is the person that is driving the Democrats crazy. They are losing their minds because they don't know they can't do anything about him. They think he shouldn't have won in 2016. There's absolutely no way he should have beat Hillary Clinton. And now he survived Mueller. He's going through impeachment, actually rising in the polls, and they're stunned. So he gave a speech last night in Florida, and here's how it started.
So less than 1 year from now, I will join voters across the Sunshine State, my home, as we head to the polls, and together we will win back the House, we will hold the Senate, and we will keep that beautiful, beautiful White House. We will keep it.
All right, notice that he referred to Florida, the Sunshine State, as his new home. And that's because he moved. He got out of New York. He left their high taxes and left-wing government, and now he's settled in Florida, his new home state. But what was interesting about this rally is he didn't go to some, conservative hotbed or GOP stronghold to hold this rally. This rally was held in Broward County, the county famous for hanging chads in the 2000 election and for overwhelming support for Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. This is where he held his rally. This is where it was packed as usual with the crowd just, on his feet cheering. This is where he went. He's taking it to the Democrats over and over again. And later in the speech, he talked about the whole impeachment mess that's driving them crazy. He talked about how they first started with the Mueller investigation, and that led to hearings. And here's what he said.
And then Mueller testified. How did he do what he testified? How did he do? Wasn't too good. But they were devastated. They say this is a disaster. Now they say, give us anything, we'll impeach him. Let him go to the refrigerator and pick an orange. We're going to, from Florida yet. Pick an orange from Florida. We're going to impeach him.
So what a great rally. And like I said, the president, He has so much energy and he's just taking it to the Democrats. And they don't know, and the media too, they do not know how to respond to someone who actually fires back at them. Usually GOP members, especially the higher you get and running for higher offices, tend to roll over. They always have. There's a long history of that. And yet President Trump comes in, he takes on the media, he takes on the Democrats, and he's actually doing better for it. It's absolutely great. So now I want to talk about the Democrats running for president and one of the problems that they are having. And in addition to President Trump, they also have a problem with their own base, and that is on the issue of education. Because Black and Hispanic communities, they want to educate their kids in the best possible way. They favor charter schools. We've seen it in pilot programs in Washington, D.C. We've seen it in other places around the country. Charter schools work, and these communities love it. They see the kids getting better education. They see them getting better grades. The parents are happier because they see this as a way out from the inner cities, a chance for the next generation, their kids, to do better in life, to raise families, to be educated, have better jobs, live in better communities. They see this as a beacon of hope, and yet the Democrats, the keepers of this constituency, are against it. They want to keep these communities poor, uneducated, and in violence. They don't listen. And here's a report from the Washington Free Beacon that shows what's going on with charter schools and the Democrats. Sonia Tyler is seeking to enroll her children in a suburban charter school outside Atlanta, joining many other parents who have found in charters a lifeline to escape failing public schools. But Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders have put out plans to defund charters, while South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg and former Vice President Joe Biden have both publicly expressed skepticism about charters. In front of the studio that held the Democratic presidential debate in Atlanta last week, more than 300 school choice proponents chanted, "Our children, our choice," and held up signs such as "Charter schools equals self-determination" and "Black Democrats want charters." So that was the rally outside as the Democrats debated in Atlanta. That's what was going on outside. But were the Democrats listening? Did they even care? Here's more. The next day, charter school parents disrupted Warren's speech on racial inequalities at Clark Atlanta University with similar chants, and a Black mother even confronted her about whether Warren sent her children to private school. Warren said she had sent her children to public school, but failed to mention that her son attended an elite private school from 5th grade on. Sanders, a self-declared Democrat socialist, has argued that charters are a ploy to privatize education, a sentiment echoed by Warren in her public opposition to any federal funding for the schools. So to me, this is unreal. Again, here is a chance. They say they are the champions. The Democrats say they are the champions of the Black and Hispanic communities, these underrepresented communities. And yet here is a chance where spokesmen, people in these own communities, say this works. Our children are doing better. Here's a chance to be freer, to be better educated, to make a better life for ourselves. And the Democrats are the ones who oppose it. And hopefully that is a wake-up call to the people in these communities that say the Democrats are not looking out for your best interests. They want control. And the more they can keep you under control, the more power they have. And that's what this is all about. It's not about educating these kids. It's certainly not about them thinking for themselves and making decisions later in life on which direction they want the country to go. So folks, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I'm actually taking Friday off, so I will see you on Monday for the next show. So please subscribe, and when you do, please hit that bell, and we'll see you then. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-Minute News Hour. Okay, friends, just a little reminder before you go, and no, this does not count against my 13 minutes. Please hit the subscribe button below and tell your friends. And if you happen to miss our last show, you can check it out right here. And also for great conservative news and commentary, please check out GOPUSA.com. All right, folks, we'll see you on the next show. Have a great day.